Your Excellency, this campaign, tree planting campaign that you are launching today, is a campaign like no other. Because today you launch a campaign that will see a record 1.8 billion trees planted in 5 years. It has never been envisaged before, but you did instruct the ministry to formulate this program that you yourself have signed off, and you have come here to launch it yourself so that it is clear to all and sundry that this campaign of massive tree planting around Kenya is a campaign that is led by you, that is driven by government. And Your Excellency, it is significant because the planting of 1.8 billion trees in Kenya will create an ecosystem that is going to mitigate against climate change, the effects of climate change, provide sequestration for carbon, but more importantly, Your Excellency, it is going to mitigate the effects of the swing from severe droughts on one hand that decimate livelihoods on one end, and havoc that ravages our country from flooding on another end. So this swing from severe drought to hazardous floods will be to a great extent managed by this massive planting of trees in Kenya. And Your Excellency and fellow Kenyans, this is a campaign that has no boundaries. National government, county government, non-state actors, civil society groups, church organizations, community-based organizations, and all others must be brought on board so that this exercise that is about the future of our country, because if there is one thing we share between those of us who are here today and those who will be born tomorrow and the days to come, it is our environment. And by looking after our environment, we will ensure that we will hand over to the next generation an environment that can support livelihoods and that can ensure that we have an earth to live in. Your Excellency, as we forge ahead, Kenyans from all walks of life, as you have said and as we have determined, this is not the time to continue matters politics. Now is the time to roll up our sleeves, tighten up our belts, and pull up our socks and get to the business of transforming Kenya. We want to know by 2022 how many of the 1.8 billion trees that we want to plant will have been planted. How many Kenyans will we have pulled out of the shame of hunger by ensuring that there is food security in our country? How many Kenyans who today don't have a roof over their heads will have gotten the 500,000 houses that we want to build in 5 years? And how many young people that today don't have a job, our manufacturing drive will have given them jobs? That is the focus that you and all of us in government are focusing so that we can transform our country. And Your Excellency, I want to commit that all those who work under you, we will stand shoulder to shoulder to ensure that you achieve that success.
The multi-sector team in government tasked with responding to these events will receive every support it needs so that it can keep every Kenyan safe and help those affected rebuild their lives. Kenyans expect no less, and they will get no less. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we mourn, it reminds us of the importance of this day. The matter of our forests and our environment, as will soon become clear, are matters that are not distinct from the recent events of drought and floods as we have seen recently. Some here might recall our first National Tree Planting Day in 1964, when the first president planted a mugumo tree at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. Kenya has since changed beyond recognition. We are healthier, better educated, and indeed more prosperous as a nation than we were in 1964. We have come a long way. Some things, however, haven't changed. Our environment remains the bedrock of our development, for every sector of our economy depends upon it, and it remains vital in its own right. Our forests account for 4% of our GDP. Much of our water for domestic and industrial use comes from the towers, from Mount Kenya and the Aberdares in the east, to Mount Elgon and Mau in the west, and many other water towers across the country. And ladies and gentlemen, in that dependence on our water towers lies the trouble. At 7%, our forest cover remains way too low. It cannot supply the goods and services required for our development, and certainly not for a country growing as quickly as we are. The signs are clear. Water is scarce and getting scarcer. Recent droughts have been unusually severe, and as we have had cause to remember today, the floods that we endure are ever more serious. And we must also be perfectly clear: the tragedies we have endured and whose victims we have remembered today remind us that climate change matters. It is a mortal threat to the people and the prosperity of our country. We must learn the lessons of this tragedy, and we must learn them once and for all.
I have been in the forest. I remember, Your Excellency, when the rains just started falling, early March, you called me and you asked me, where are you? And I said, Your Excellency, I'm in the office. I thought I was making a point that I was a hard worker in the office. And you asked me, Your Excellency, is it raining from where you are? I said, yes, it's raining. Are you planting trees in the office? And I said, Your Excellency, I get the message. And I did, in fact, get the message. And since then, Your Excellency, together with my colleagues in the ministry, we have traversed this country, planting trees, actually growing trees in schools, in other public utilities. We have mobilized the entire country. And I am happy, Your Excellency, to report that there is overwhelming outpouring of support by the public. The public now understands that it is not the responsibility of the government to plant trees for them. It is a joint responsibility. Your Excellency, the theme of today's event, which again is being marked across the country upon your instructions, is Panda Miti, Penda Kenya. And I would ask, Your Excellency, with your permission, and this is not an instruction, this is a request, that you turn to the person on your right, all of us, shake their hand and repeat. Panda miti, penda Kenya. So too. Your Excellency, I will request those who are, just finish. I will request those to turn on their left and also similarly shake the hand of and say, Ipende Kenya, Panda Miti. So actually the slogan is, Panda Miti, Penda Kenya, and then Ipende Kenya, Panda Miti. That should be our clarion call for now and in the future.
Seedling moja inauzwa 10 bob. Nairobi tuko na wanafunzi zaidi ya 1,000,000. Tumepewa elimu ya bure. Mimi naomba wazazi wote, uwezi shindwa kuavoid 40 bob kununua miti 4 kwa kila mtoto yako. Hawa watoto 3,000,000, kila mmoja akipanda miti 4, tutakuwa na miti mingi sana hapa Nairobi City County.